Victor, Christina, Jeremy, we're going to the moon.
Exactly, we don't actually have that long to go, guys. A critical moment is coming for NASA. The countdown has begun at Kennedy Space Center, and what happens next could decide whether humans return to deep space. Right now, NASA's massive Space Launch System rocket for Artemis II has been standing on the launch pad 39B since January the 18th. But before this rocket can actually fly, there is one major test that must go perfectly, and it's called the wet dress rehearsal. This test simulates a real launch. Engineers load the rocket with super cold liquid hydrogen and oxygen. They run the countdown and make sure everything works safely. You're probably asking yourself, why is this test so important? Because earlier this month, the hydrogen was leaking, which forced NASA to delay operations. And hydrogen is extremely dangerous. It's highly flammable and it could create a serious safety risk. The NASA teams have already replaced the ground support filter, and this may have caused fuel problems before. Now all eyes are on Thursday night, so you're probably asking yourself, what is the risk? Now if this rehearsal does not go well, NASA may have to roll the rocket back to the vehicle assembly building, and that would be a massive problem. Why? Well, because the rocket's flight termination system batteries and upper stage components would need to be replaced. That process alone would push the launch date back even further. Right now, Artemis II is well planned for no earlier than March. Before I continue, I'd just like to know, what part of the world are you guys from? Put in the comments, let me know what country you're going to be watching the launch from. Be interesting to see where everyone's looking from. So March is not a fixed launch date, it's a target window. And between then and now, NASA still has critical tests to complete. Every system must be checked, every fuel line must be sealed, every sensor must give the right reading. If even one issue appears, the launch could move again. That's the reality of sending humans beyond Earth orbit. And this is why Artemis II matters. This isn't just another rocket launch. Artemis II will carry 4 astronauts around the moon. They won't land, but they'll travel farther from Earth than any other human has in over 50 years. The last time astronauts went that far was during the Apollo missions. Since 1972, no human has left low Earth orbit. This mission changes that. It's the first real step towards returning humans to the moon, and eventually going to Mars. And because of that, the pressure really is enormous. And NASA can't rush. The Space Launch System is the most powerful rocket ever built, and the Orion spacecraft must keep the crew alive in deep space. And yes, the risks are very real. Recent hydrogen leaks during refueling showed just how sensitive this system is. Hydrogen is extremely cold, extremely volatile, and even a small leak can delay everything. That's why NASA would rather delay the mission than take unnecessary risks. So now, what could cause another delay? Several things could push the launch beyond March. So if the wet dress rehearsal doesn't go smoothly, if fueling systems show new problems, if the rocket has to be rolled back for maintenance, or if you have bad weather, this can cause problems for a launch as well. Each delay may seem frustrating, but in spaceflight, delays mean safety, and safety always comes first. And this is the bigger picture. Artemis is more than just a trip around the moon. It's a test for everything that comes next. If this mission succeeds, Artemis III will attempt a lunar landing. New systems will be proven, and a long-term human presence on the moon becomes possible. This mission is the bridge between testing and exploration. So this is the human side of things, guys. For the astronauts, the wait is part of the journey. They've trained for years. They prepared to see the Earth from a distance most people will never experience. To travel into deep space, to fly further than any human alive today. But like everyone else, they're just waiting. Because in spaceflight, having patience is just as important as technology. So when you hear Artemis II is scheduled for no earlier than March, remember what that really means. It means testing, it means caution, and also means preparation. And if everything comes together, the world could soon witness the beginning of humanity's return to deep space. The countdown isn't just a date, it's about getting it right. And that's something worth remembering. Because when we talk about delays, it's easy to focus on the frustration. The headlines say the mission is pushed back, the schedule changes, the launch window moves, but behind every delay is a decision to protect lives. The 4 astronauts will be sitting on top of the most powerful rockets ever built. There's no room for guessing, no room for shortcuts, and definitely no room for good enough. Everything has to work, every valve, every sensor, every line of code, because once that rocket leaves the ground, there's no turning back. And there's also something bigger happening here. Artemis II isn't just about another space mission. It represents a new era, a new generation of exploration. This mission will test the systems that future astronauts will rely on when they land on the moon again. And this time, the goal isn't just to visit, the goal is to stay, to build a long-term human presence, to prepare for something even bigger, and that is Mars. But every journey like that starts the same way, with patience, with testing, with small steps done the right way. And that's what's happening right now at the Kennedy Space Center. Engineers checking systems, running simulations, and they're preparing for the moment when everything finally comes together. And when that day comes, when the countdown finally reaches to 0, and Artemis II lifts off, it won't just be another launch, it'll be the moment humans leave Earth's orbit once again. So it's really not that long away, guys. We're getting closer and closer to the launch. We just hope that all the checks that they do with the next wet dress rehearsal happening on Thursday, everything goes to plan, and then it's like full steam ahead. The launch goes ahead, and then we can look towards seeing the flight to the moon, and then obviously Artemis 3 after that. So exciting times ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.